All right, good morning, everyone. It is 8:48 in the morning of September 28th, 2021, and this is my morning strategy session. So today it's quite a bit busier than it was yesterday. Yesterday was a pretty dull day, really, on the market. I did have a decent day. I only traded one stock yesterday, and I did well on it. Only traded 100 shares on it, and walked away with some cash in my pocket. Today, quite a different story. Now, I kind of wonder if it's going to start out super busy and then turn out to be just die off, like volume just dies off and nothing happens. I kind of don't think so. Let's kind of just go over it here. First up, we have SNOA, Sonoma Pharmaceuticals, and their headline is they launch their first over-the-counter products in the United States. I haven't done any research to see what their products are, what kind of pharmaceuticals are they selling? I don't know, cold medicine or KY jelly. I don't know. Anyway, so it's a big headline. It's big news. You can see here it's up 69% pre-market. I think there's probably, and I've traded this one before. Let's go back here. Yeah, back here just in August. I traded this one pre-market. I think I did okay on it. I think I did better in the pre-market than I did in the regular hours. And I've got levels all over this thing. I've got, let's see, the Fibonacci here. And the Fibonacci is actually from way back on another day. I think I've traded this a couple times. Yeah, the Fibonacci is from way back here on the 11th of December, 2020. So quite some time ago. And then I also have levels on it from the last time it popped up there on the 19th of August. So it's pretty confusing looking right now, I think, with the Fibonacci and the price support levels and resistance levels from previous days of trading. So I might get rid of that and put a Fibonacci there. I imagine that there's going to be some profit taking here. So the levels from its previous close to its open might be in play, will probably be in play. And I'm not sure if it's going to be these levels here or if it's going to be this level here from its previous pop-up. I'm just going to have to see. I'm going to have to see how this thing looks after it opens, see what kind of a pullback, if it gives a pullback. It might just open and run. So we're just going to have to see how it goes. I think there's going to be a trade here in any case, whether it's a move past the open, a 1 minute momentum setup. Let's look at it in the 1 minute here. So I kind of went out there. Let's go in a little bit. Yeah, so a new 1 minute high. It looks like there are people jumping on pre-market onto the new 1 minute high there for a move. And it looks like the dips are pretty much getting bought up. It's going to be an interesting day for SNOA. We'll see how it goes. Next one is DBGI. Now this one just popped up. I've been in the office since about a quarter after, 10 after, quarter after, and this one started popping up at 8:30. This one has a really neat headline. Let's see. Here we go. DBG announces $37.5 million to $42.5 million for 2022 revenue guidance, an increase of 350% from 2021. And that announcement was the announcement was made at 8:30 in the morning today. Wall Street loves a growth story, and that's one heck of an increase in revenues. There's going to, growth. The first thing is growth. So the earnings can kind of come next. Positive or negative earnings, how those earnings look, and how all of the operational expenses look and stuff like that. That can kind of come secondary. A big revenue increase like that is a big deal for a small cap like this. It only has 11,000 shares outstanding, and its float is 5 million shares. So the one thing that I think I would be wary of is a secondary offering on DBGI. Once a stock starts getting, up to, the sort of I don't want to say mid cap, but the idea is to issue more stock once the stock price goes up. And whether that's a split or a secondary offering, I don't know. I think that's something to look out for on both SNOA and DBGI for that matter. So DBGI looks like it's about to kind of pop up over its pre-market. Pre-market high is 479. So if it pops up over 479 right here, I'm expecting kind of a thrust higher. Let's just kind of watch it here for a minute. I might want to trade this pre-market. Here I'm going to get an order for 500 shares ready on the pre-market. At the level 2 is saying 787. That's interesting. 786 on the oh no, I'm looking at ALF. Sorry, not DBGI. Here we go. Whew. Okay, all right. 472 on the 471 on the bid, 472 on the ask. Okay. So it looks like it's kind of keeping its a cap on right there at roughly the high to mid 470s for the time being. Okay, ALF. Interesting headline on ALF. Partners with Vistar Media. The headline here, I'll read the whole headline. I've just got kind of a brief right there. ALF. ALF partners with Vistar Media to enable advertisers to purchase digital out-of-home campaigns programmatically. I don't understand what that means. It's caught a bid. It went up to as high, and this is one that I don't know if I've traded it before, but I've definitely looked at it. You can tell here. And so I've got levels on it. And I'll just have to see how it acts after it opens. It's level 2. Like if you look at the level 2 for both SNOA and for DBGI, their level 2s are rolling. Like that means that, oh, look, it popped up. Let's see if I can get, I'm going to put an order in at 470, 480 and see if I can get filled on a pullback right there. A retest of 479, a retest of that break right there. Successful retest of that break right there will be pretty good. So yeah, ALF, its level 2 isn't like rolling in the same way that SNOA and DBGI are. It's moving a little bit, but it's not as hectic. Okay, SSL. Now this one is up pre-market 6.3%. This is a large cap, and this one's been making some moves here recently. Let me get rid of that Fibonacci. So on this one, there's this sort of short-term, this fast line right here, this red fast line. Might be kind of hard to see. Let me make it a little bit larger so it's easier to see. And so it broke through this bottom line right here. The price is broken through, and now it's gapped up. This is a South African company, and it's doing something. Essentially, it's riding the increase in the energy prices. Energy prices are on the rise, and SSL somehow benefits from that. So it's gapped up. Let's see, gapped up 6.37%, about $1.10 per share. And so I put a Fibonacci on the gap right there. So, I imagine I'll probably move the Fibonacci to where it opens, so that way I have a better idea. But it's looking like there's probably going to be some support in here for this stock price. If I'm paying enough attention, I don't know, I might be preoccupied with SNOA and DBGI. Might be too preoccupied with those two in order to really pay too much attention to SSL. Maybe I'll put in an order ahead of time. I don't know. We'll see. IMAB is another one that's popping up. The headline on IMAB is it is added to the FTSE ESG index. Okay. So, and this one, the level 2, it's been a minute since I looked at it, but it was like sitting still. Pre-market, it's only traded 12,000 shares pre-market. So on IMAB, my guess is that when volume comes in at the open, there's definitely going to be some profit taking here. I mean, it's up 7% from yesterday's close. And when something doesn't trade very heavily pre-market, the open will be there'll be in my experience, there will be a sell-off at the open. So where this thing comes down to, I don't know. I've seen recent upgrades, analyst upgrades and so forth, I've seen it come all the way down to I use 25% down here. So I've seen it come all the way down to $72 or down to the 25% mark. So I'll probably be watching that one for IMAB. SSL has traded 429,000 shares pre-market here. So this one I expect there to be some profit taking. Let's see the float. Let's see what the shares outstanding are on this. Shares outstanding are 626 million. So, I mean, 429,000 is a pretty healthy number of shares to be traded pre-market on SSL. But with something that has 626 million shares, the open, that can get washed pretty quickly. So we'll see what happens with it. HUN, another interesting headline here, joint venture with KPX to supply Korean auto industry. Okay, so it's on watch. I don't know really anything about the Korean auto industry, what's going on with it, and why this is such a great thing. So I have Fibonacci on it. Let's see where, yeah. So when it opens, if I can pay attention, there's a lot to pay attention to this morning. I can only usually trade one stock at a time and can usually only kind of keep my eye on two at the most. So yeah, just kind of sitting back and waiting and watching here. Let's see, I'm about to get filled right there in DBGI. Let's hope that it holds that level, that breakout, sort of short-term breakout level there. Okay, everybody, let's see then. We've got the broader market. So the SPY, if it opened right now, it would open up 0.83% below its previous close. The VIX is still inside the gap here that I like to use. And I think that the VIX is going to remain elevated for, until Congress gets its act together and passes the debt ceiling, to make sure that the debt ceiling rises. Until that happens, I think the VIX is going to be elevated. So, it's Congress likes to think they're important, Bitcoin, so Bitcoin is under pressure here, and it is flirting. We've had one close, a daily close, below 42,000 here on Bitcoin. It managed to prop itself back up, and it's dipped below 42,000 here. Another close below 42,000, and I think Bitcoin is going to get quite bearish. So, it's sort of the moment of truth for Bitcoin. It's not bearish yet. It's still neutral, but another close below 42,000, and Bitcoin is going to explore prices further to the downside. Okay. And so now MRIN has been one that I've been keeping an eye on. Pre-market, if it opened up right now, it would open up 2.48% lower. I've actually been kind of surprised by MRIN's strength after it basically gapped and crapped here on the 22nd. Came down to the 38.2 Fibonacci on the 23rd, and has caught some strength, and I was actually pretty surprised by that. I thought that it would take some more time exploring lower prices in this gap before it ran up to try and break through this open that it put in on the 22nd. Hasn't been able to close above that open yet, so I think there's still time to average into MRIN. I'm just waiting for lower prices to do so. Let's see, silver's getting a 1.5% haircut this morning. It's down in the doldrums. I'm waiting for a turnaround on silver in order to start buying in, but I don't know where it's going to be. So, I'd like to see the dollar really start to retreat and weaken before I start getting into a position on silver. And the dollar is being really quite stubbornly high here. You can see actually the dollar's broken above my my risk range here at 93.56. And as long as investors are scared of a downturn on the market and they're going to cash, that's going to offer some strength to the dollar. I imagine that after everything settles down, then the dollar will start to retreat again. And then energy's been catching a bid here. B&O, I had some options on B&O that I let go of yesterday. It's basically because of this star right here. And the reason that a pop-up with a star like that over top of the price action is, in my experience, has led to a bit of a downturn after that. So energy's hot, definitely energy. People are buying into energy, no doubt. But I don't know. It looks a little bit toppy to me at the moment. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of lay off of energy for a little bit and wait and see where things go. Okay, everybody, that is my morning strategy session. Good luck out there. Keep your risk tight. Click like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, tap the bell, and I will see you at the recap. I am